Good afternoon, everybody. This is Miss Perea Costa, and this afternoon I am with some of the students from 4th and 5th class, section Q at Liceo Montale in Rome. Good afternoon, guys.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So today we are very happy because we are not alone, and it is a real pleasure for us to host a very special guest, Cleon Papadimitriou. Good afternoon, Cleon.
Good afternoon. Thank you very much for having me.
You are welcome. For those who are listening to us, I would like to introduce a little bit better how we got to this meeting. Last summer, around the end of July, more or less, we read a newspaper article about a very special person. The heading of the article said something like, homesick student rides a bike from Scotland to Greece to join his family. The article said about 48 days cycling ride and more than 4,000 kilometers, and that was really incredible. So when we read it, we were deeply amazed, and we thought that it could be very interesting to meet this person, to ask him some more questions and to have the opportunity to get to know him better. And we just had to read some more information, to wait till the beginning of the new academic year, and then maybe we could meet him. And finally, here we are. Dear Cleon, you are that student, the same brave person we read about in the newspapers, and we are so happy to meet you. We know very well that you are very busy with your studies at university, so we are very grateful and we really appreciate it. And we all thank you so much for being so nice and so kind, sharing part of your time with us. So I couldn't have a better occasion than this to say one of the only 3 expressions that I know in Greek. Efcharistopoli, Cleon.
Aramo, it means my pleasure.
So guys, now it's your turn. I will mute my microphone, and if you are ready, let's start.
Hi, Cleo. I am Eduardo, and I would like to know, how has your life changed after this experience, and have you noticed any changes in your life?
I'd say the biggest part of my life that's changed is that I see many stressful situations very differently now. I'm a lot more calm, and I can behave very differently, whereas in the past I might get stressed, I might get nervous. On top of that, I think it's really blossomed my my want to travel. So the only thing I think about doing in my free time is traveling and seeing new places.
Okay, thank you very much. My second question is, when you concluded this adventure, you immediately gained a lot of notoriety, I guess. I would like to know if you felt under pressure due to your success and how you dealt with it.
Yeah, there was quite a bit of attention from the media that you do feel the pressure, and every day I was getting a lot of messages. I could never see all of them. I think that in the days after I finished, I had maybe 2 to 3 interviews a day, and even though I didn't really want to do them, I always said yes, because it was a wonderful way to spread my message, to inspire people, and I knew that if I said no and preferred to just relax and sit after all of that, I would regret it later. So I pushed myself a little bit further to just kind of go through with them, and it's paid off, I think.
Okay, thank you very much.
Good afternoon, Cleon. My name is Marco, and I would like to know if you had to choose 3 adjectives to describe the word family, which would you choose?
That is a very, very interesting question. I think the words I would choose are health, love, and maybe acceptance.
Thanks. And the second question is, do you usually cycle to get around your city, or do you also have the driving license?
I have a driver's license, but I almost never drive. I go everywhere by bike, unless it's really, really far or if the weather's very bad. Otherwise, yeah, I cycle.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Martina, and I was wondering, when you first thought about this challenge, how did you manage to find the courage to put it actually into practice?
That is the biggest challenge throughout this entire feat. That was the biggest challenge. I think I was very stressed and nervous, but I chose to ignore that. I chose to pretend that everything was going to be okay, even though many times I didn't believe it, and I was aware that I was being, ignorant, arrogant, whatever it is. I knew that I was doing that, but I really wanted to do it, and so I knew that the only way that I would get myself to do it is if I slightly lied to myself and follow through, I guess.
Thank you, it's very inspiring. And my second question is, was the need to reach your family and stay in your hometown stronger in the pandemic hardship?
I definitely wanted to be with my family. Studying here alone is, although it is lonely, the biggest reason I wanted to go back is because if anything were to go wrong, I knew I'd be with my family. Being around other students in university is not the safest place to be for COVID. And so I had to, I had the need to go back.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Kalispera Cleon, I'm Andrea, and I would like to know which drive impulse pervade the new courage with a pinch of reckless or fear facing the virus alone in a foreign land?
That is a very insightful question because, like I said before, not many people understand that you have to ignore certain things. The recklessness was a big part of being able to do the journey. So I think the reckless part, although I had calculated it and I was aware of it, if I didn't have that, then fear would overwhelm me and I don't think I would have done it. So I had to go for reckless and slightly courageous. Although courageous is a little bit exaggerated. I don't think I was courageous. I was reckless, I was patient, I was hopeful, and I was nervous.
Thank you. My other question is not a question really, but I support your decision and I would like to you to tell us your feelings and your various moments of your journey.
Feelings. The whole trip is a big roller coaster of emotions. From the moment I started, I was incredibly stressed, incredibly nervous. Many of the things that I had planned on paper and in little cute notebooks failed the moment I got on the bike. I was too tired. I was not going fast enough. The weather was terrible. I was cold. So the first few days, things did not go to plan and I was very anxious. Slowly, I'd say after maybe day 4, day 5, when I started realizing that, look, I'm actually covering some ground. I'm getting there. And I was meeting mini checkpoints every now and then, get past the city, get closer to the border. That would revitalize me. That would give me, the energy to keep pushing. And so whenever I felt down, I would look forward to that next small milestone, wherever it was.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Ilaria, and I wanted to ask if you have ever thought about giving up at any point, maybe just because you were too tired and it was too hard to continue, and find another way to continue your trip.
The answer is almost every day, and not just once a day. When I would wake up, sometimes I would be, my tent would be wet, I would be cold, the weather would be terrible. I did not want to get out. I just wanted to stay there. I thought, I can go to the nearest city, get a bus, get a plane, call this the day. That was it. It was fun. But every day, I would wake up, I would call my parents, I would say how I feel. They would say, we understand you. Do you feel that you need to actually stop? And the answer is no. I'm not going to stop, even though I did really want to. And I think a big factor was food, because every time that I was hungry, I was always moody and I didn't really want to do anything. And then as soon as I ate, instantly, I was ready to keep going.
Okay, thank you. And I also wanted to ask if during your trip, have you ever stopped in a city just to visit it and become a tourist, even just for a day?
Of course. Well, the main reason I did the trip, other than to get home, is because I like traveling. I really like looking at new cities. So even though in the UK I couldn't do so much of it because of COVID, I did stop by and look around not almost all, a big part of the small villages. And then I also saw some large cities like Cologne, Munich, Salzburg, Venice, Ancona. And then the last one was somewhere in Germany, I forgot. But yes, I did it very often.
Okay, thank you so much.
Hi, Cleon. I'm Elisabetta. And I would like to tell you that I am very happy that you are here today. I would like to know what would you recommend to those who would like to have the same experience as you had?
I would say pick a journey that you want to do, plan it in your mind, and then at the first chance you get where you're able to commit, your time financially, any other way, pick a date and then start looking, find your accommodation, plan all the details, tell people what you want to do, but don't say that that's what you want to do, say that's what you will do, and then tell them by this date I will have done it, watch me. That's what I did, and that's how I keep doing things.
Let's go. And was there ever a time during your trip when you got very scared?
Very scared. Yes, twice. I was camping in a forest, wild camping, not planned. One time was in the UK, and the other time was in Germany. And those two times, late in the afternoon when the sun had gone down and it was getting really dark, I had encounters with wild animals. Both times it was deer, but the one time in Germany, I was woken up at around 3 a.m. by, I guess, a large deer running by where I had set up camp, and it must have come within 1 meter, 2 meters of my tent. And well, I didn't know what it was, so I was very scared. It made a sound that I didn't think a deer could make. And so I just had to sit there and hold my breath and wait for it to go away before I kind of had to take deep breaths and slow down again. And I did not sleep well that night. And so, yeah, that's when I was scared. And the reason that I was most scared is because nobody knew where I was. I didn't have any signal. And what I was doing was a little out of my comfort zone.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Francesco, and I wanted to know what were your favorite location or cities during your trip?
My favorite, okay. I like my two favorite cities were Cologne and Venice. I had not been to either of them before. It was my first time, especially Venice. and I'm being a bit biased here because it's Mediterranean, but Venice was empty. There were just a few people here and there, and I know that does not happen very frequently, so I really enjoyed it. But I also very much liked the nature in Germany. I think it's the best nature I've seen. Very rich, very lush, very green, and I definitely want to go there again.
Thank you. And second thing, what gave you the strength to continue in your journey?
When I started, I had my parents and some of their friends who had heard about the trip. They were invested in this story. They wanted to see what would happen. So initially it was a sense of, I'm going to show them that I can do it. Very quickly, it started gaining a lot more attention. So, it wasn't just the people I knew who were looking at me. Now it was, strangers. So that, made me not want to quit. On top of that, a few friends of mine who were from university that were following, what I was doing, they also wanted to see where I would go. Some of them wanted to see from where I would stop and get a plane. And so I was also determined to prove them wrong. But it was generally just stubbornness, I guess.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hi, Cleon. My name is Sofia. And I wanted to ask you if you have ever had problems with police and customs since you crossed Europe by bike. Weren't you considered a little bit suspicious? Also because it was like lockdown time, so it was a little bit suspicious.
Mm-hmm. Initially, that was my biggest fear, actually, police and borders. Before I started, obviously I had checked all the borders, made sure that I would have any papers that I would need. So from the legal part, I was okay, but there was always the problem of, some one person that has a problem with what I'm doing, and then I have to sit and explain, and that creates a situation. But when I started in the UK, that was a concern. However, nobody was out, and I never went on main roads, popular roads. It was usually cycle routes and minor roads. So I was never really seen by anyone. And then by the time I got to the Netherlands and Germany, the countries were open. So people went around, people traveled, people cycled. So it was not something out of the ordinary then.
Okay, got it. And also I wanted to ask you if how your body reacted both during this experience and after, and what kind of diet did you follow, and how did you overcome the physical difficulties?
My body reacted by losing a lot of weight. I generally exercise a lot, and so throughout the 7 weeks, I lost 7 kilos. That is partially owed to my diet because I couldn't carry a lot of weight. I had to fit as many calories I could in as little weight. And so before I started, I went to the supermarket and I looked at every single item, and I selected bread and canned sardines and peanut butter and some dried nuts. They had the most energy stored in them, so that's what I would eat pretty much. It's honestly very unhealthy. But I think if I had not done that, I don't think I would have made it, because I couldn't cook pasta. I couldn't, buy meat and cook it. So everything had to be ready. And I think you had one more question.
Yes, how did you overcome the physical difficulties during the trip?
Initially, when I started cycling, I was going way too fast. I was trying to hit 30 kilometers per hour on average. That it became very obvious that I could not do that. So I think after the second day, my father told me, slow down, clearly you were way off your targets, so accept it and adapt. And so I said, okay, I guess I won't, get back home in 20 days. It's going to take slightly more. And so I cycled very slowly, and, then the pain wasn't, my legs were not burning out because I was cycling very slowly, but it was being on the saddle for so many hours that was the painful part.
Okay, thank you.
Good evening, Elias. And my first question is, why did you decide to leave Greece? And are you planning to work abroad after graduating?
I think I missed the first question, so I'll answer the second one, then you'll retell me. I would like to work abroad when I finish studying. Actually, since I did the trip, I've decided I want to go to Germany because I like the people and I like the forests and I like the cities. But it's nothing is set in stone. I don't know. It might change. I could also stop working in Greece, even though it's not economically very smart.
Okay, and the last one, have you considered repeating the same experience with something different than a bike?
Yes, I thought I wanted to do it with a kayak, but that is just ridiculous. That is just playing with my luck at that point. So I will not be doing that. However, I really liked, traveling to many different places, in a short amount of time, not going to a place and staying there again and again and again, just, going to, 10 new cities in a week. So I will definitely do it. I'm a little against, doing it by car or by motorbike, because that is a little, consumerist, but who knows? I don't know.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Hi Cleon, my name is Niccolò and I would like to know what was your best moment and your worst moment during your trip?
My best moment, I'll start with the worst, it's a little bit easier. Before I got to Mannheim, I had a rough few days. The Netherlands was, even though it was flat, finding accommodation, food, and all of that, it was slightly difficult, and also it was very sunny, so I got very exhausted those days. And so, in the days after that, going up to Mannheim, I remember I was going through a forest, and I ended up getting a fourth flat that day. My tire burst for the fourth time, and I had someone waiting for me to host me, and I didn't know them, and I was several hours behind schedule and it was getting dark, and so I was very upset, and it's the closest I came to quitting. I called my dad and I told him, that's it, I'm done, it's over. And he somehow he understood from the tone of my voice that I was being serious, that this wasn't just complaining. And he said, okay, he was a little bit quiet, and he said, can you get a bus from somewhere? Can you, how are we gonna do it? And I realized, what I need to do is I need to fix my bike and keep going, because I'm in the middle of a forest, several kilometers big. And because I had to do that, by the time I had fixed my bicycle again, I thought, yeah, okay, I won't quit now. Let me just make it to the end of the day. And so I was really at the end of my rope there. Best moment, there were a lot of good moments. I don't know. I was incredibly excited when I got on the boat to cross to the Netherlands. That was my first official border crossing. I was very excited when I got to swim in the sea in Italy. That was also really nice. That was when it was more like vacationing and not so much, panicking. Best moment was probably when I arrived home, though. It was incredibly special.
Okay, the second question is, what do you like about engineering?
I like to solve problems. Sometimes I can do it well, sometimes not so much. I think for me, the degree that I've chosen is more training for a way to think and to solve problems, as opposed to, I'm going to go and design a new thing. So I just see it as that, just training myself for the rest of my life.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm Denisa, and I was wondering, how do you feel about having accomplished such a big thing?
It's surreal. It doesn't feel like I was the one who did it. It feels like it was not only someone else, but also when I think about it, it does not seem that special, because I, as someone who lived through it, who has all the memories, I no longer see them as very difficult, because, well, I've done them once. So it's weird. At the same time, I recognize that it is special, and so I do try to move people to do things like this. And other than that, it's just pride, I guess.
So, do you think you might have inspired other people? No.
I think I have. I mean, people have sent me messages from all over the world telling me, you inspire me to do this, you inspire me to change. Many times asking for advice, and that is probably the most important achievement that I managed, which is to just inspire change in others. Because sure, I can do it, but that's not so special as motivating others to get out of their comfort zones, to change, to become better, to experience new things. I think so, yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Cleon. My name is Ilenia, and I wanted to ask you a couple questions as well. And the first one is, did you ever feel lonely or mentally lost while you were on your trip? Because of course you were all alone for 49 days. And so if you did feel lonely, how did you deal with it?
A lot of phone calls. I was very lonely. The hardest part to deal with on an everyday basis is just, I want comfort. I want a break. I want someone to talk to. I want someone to acknowledge that what I'm doing is difficult, and that, I'm not just doing it because it's a walk in the park. So many times I needed to vent. I needed that. And so I called a lot of people. I called my family. I called friends I haven't talked to in years. I called friends I haven't talked to in years in the middle of the night. Most of them didn't pick up. Many of them did, and it was an amazing conversation. But, thankfully we have technology, and I was able to overcome that.
That was very interesting. Thank you. And I also wanted to ask you if you listened to anything while you were cycling, I don't know, music, podcasts, just to pass the time, or did you only listen to your own thoughts?
Especially for the first part of my trip, where I was, it was very new to me and I was very nervous. I did not listen to anything. I was hyper aware that if anything happens to me on the road, I am in big, big trouble. Not just because it might be the end of the trip, which it most certainly would be, but because, my family doesn't really know where I am. Help is not on the way, and I will be the one who's going to have to deal with the problem. So until late in Germany, I did not listen to music, podcasts, or anything like that. I did sometimes have one earphone on to listen to directions from Google Maps. Then later on in Germany, Italy, and Greece, I listened to music to just kind of help me through the difficulty, I guess. I think it's pretty obvious that it was very, actually biking was very exhausting. Podcasts, not so much. And though it seems a little unacademic, you have so much time to listen to a podcast, I was incredibly exhausted. The music that I was listening to, it's not because I'm vibing, I like the music. It's because I need something else to think about other than the pain right now. Your brain in those situations can't really focus and think. It's just more to make, whatever discomfort you're feeling take a back seat for a second. So yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, I think we have finished, and I know that some of the students would like to ask you some more questions. It's okay to you, Cleon?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, guys.
Hi, and I had another question. What method did you follow to organize what you will bring to eat and to dress?
So I have the minimum amount of experience required to be able to do that. Just the bare minimum, because 2 summers before I did the trip, I had gone camping by myself for the first time. I had gone hiking by myself for the first time, and so I knew kind of what I might need. I talked to many people who had done similar trips, who were cyclists, and they told me many things that I would need. And I talked to a lot of people who travel by themselves, who do similar journeys, to find ways of reducing, I guess, the things that I would bring and make them more efficient per se, as well as that one thing that maybe I didn't think about that might come in very helpful in some situations.
Okay, thank you. It's very useful.
Thank you.
Okay, I just want to thank you again, Cleon, because I think this is magical, and we will remember all over our lives, and we will smile, and also because you are very inspiring. And with these meetings that we are doing this academic year, we are learning a lot about people we are meeting, but this is not a technical knowledge. It's metaphysical. It's about being tough and not giving up. And I think that this is important for all of us, not only for teenagers, but for all of us, because we are living very, very extreme conditions. Cleon, thanks a lot. And
if I can, I would like to say one thing.
Okay.
That is, I noticed from all of your questions that there's an awareness about how this might have gone down that most people and most journalists who have interviewed me cannot grasp. I mean, you were asking me questions that were incredibly insightful, whereas someone from the BBC wants to know how many kilometers I did and how fast I was going. So well done for that. I'm actually impressed, and I wish you all, I guess, the best of luck in achieving the things you want to achieve.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I hope you won't need to repeat your adventure, and if you come to Rome, please tell us, because
I would love to.
Yes, please do it and contact us. So it will be our pleasure to host you and to be with you and to share our time. And I hope COVID will be finished at all, so we will be able to enjoy, maybe to have an ice cream or I don't know what, but it will be our pleasure.
Absolutely. I would love to, and I will see if I can make it work somehow.
Not with your bike.
Definitely not. It's not happening again.
Cleon, Efkaristopoli.
Parakalapoli, you don't need to thank me. You know that this is something that you want. So thank you.
Okay. Good afternoon and goodbye, and thanks again.
To you too. Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you again.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Un ringraziamento speciale a tutti voi che siete all'ascolto della web radio del Liceo Montale di Roma.
Stay tuned!